Hello, my name is Brandon Cluot, and the endangered species I'd like to talk about is the Carolina northern flying squirrel, Glaucomys sabrinus coloratus. Some of the first rodents that may have looked squirrel showed up in the fossil record over 50 million years ago during the Paleocene and Eocene epochs in the areas of North America and Eurasia. And it was discovered in North Carolina in the 1950s, and then it was declared state federally endangered in 1985. Some biogeography about this animal. Their geographic distribution is in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia at higher altitudes. They're a class of Mammalia, order Rodentia, family Cereuridae, genus Glaucomys, species Glaucomys sabrinus, and species Glaucomys sabrinus coloratus. This is a small gliding mammal, and the northern species adults look gray with brown, tan, reddish on the back, and grayish white ventrally. And the younger juveniles are dark slate gray on the back with an off-white underside. This animal, they're relatively small, and the adults are only 10 to 12 inches long, and they weigh about 3 to 5 ounces. But as you can see in the depiction, they're a little bit bigger than the southern flying squirrel. They're nocturnal by nature and very nimble, and these squirrels are capable of gliding from place to place by the use of a membrane called a patagium that extends from their hands to their feet. In addition to that, they have a long, flat, bushy tail that controls their glide path. This patagium helps them to escape predators and also gives them a quicker means of transportation from tree to tree or the forest floor so they can forage. They nest in conifer trees anywhere from 1 to 18 meters above the ground, and resource availability and availability to nest is vital to their survival. The squirrels, they have to use certain energy conserving strategies for thermal regulation, like aggregating together, and then they only forage for short periods of time in the winter months. Denning sites may be a limiting factor for the subspecies in areas where cavity trees are not abundant or where interspecific competition from other tree squirrels occur. That's W. Mark Ford, 2015. Some more biology. Their reproduction generally occurs in the springtime. Their gestation is about 37 to 42 days. Their litter sizes range from 1 to 6, but usually consist of 2 to 4. And at approximately 40 days, the young are ready to leave the nest fully weaned. These squirrels primarily eat fungi, lichens, conifer, and hardwood seeds. Occasionally, they'll eat fruit, insects, and tree buds. The squirrels are an important component to the forest habitat because trees and plants need mycorrhizal fungi to grow, and these animals, they disperse the spores. The fungi spores colonize the root system of the plants and trees and provide them with more water and nutrient absorption. And then in turn, the plant or tree provides the fungus with carbohydrates to survive. Some of the causes of endangerment, because they have such limited natural habitat. Their natural habitat is in anywhere from 4 to 5,000 feet in wet and cool deciduous forests. And in the southern Appalachian in North Carolina, the highest peak is about 6,600 feet, and just a little bit above that. And to have this natural habitat that is untouched by human activity is not very common at all. There's people all over that place. The squirrels in particular are endangered due to the destruction of their natural habitat among the southern forests from logging, fires, human encroachment, and invasive insect species. The trees that are used for their habitat, they're already at risk for anthropogenic strain. And at these higher elevation, there's more intense atmospheric conditions, and when combined with anthropogenic strain, this has negative effects on their habitat. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, clear-cut logging in Appalachian forests decimated large areas of these mountains. Some more causes of endangerment: habitat fragmentation, timber and mineral extraction, land conversion, air pollution is what caused these animals to be put on the endangered species list. And between 1982 and 1997, North Carolina lost over 1 million acres of forest due to population growth and urbanization. Some solutions for conservation. You can see in this area right over here on the map is some open space and conservation lands they're trying to keep open, and this is where the squirrel has been found. Management plan is required to support and expand the population, and there has been one developed in 1990. But fusion between habitats are key to enable the animals to come together and grow as a group. So we need to ensure that the higher elevation habitat is safe from environmental pollutants. We need to minimize the invasive insect species, and then also fuse the habitats. Conserving this Carolina northern flying squirrel is important. So we need to protect their habitats. We need to use scientific methods to identify negative factors that reduce the numbers and find ways to satisfy the habitat needs. Because conservationists predict that between habitat destruction, pollution, and fragmentation, the species will disappear from the area. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Office will continue to determine the distribution of the species and protect the areas that have appropriate habitat and test the response to habitat modification that might be compatible with timber extraction methods. In conclusion, there is a recovery plan developed. It was developed back in 1990, but there's still no means to accurately determine these population levels. So all we can do is try to provide them with habitat. The species of squirrel could be saved from elimination in the southern Appalachian area if conservation efforts are successful. Thanks for listening.